welcome back to Threads. We're here in the studio with Kristin Wallace from the Merrimack Valley Small Business Center. She's the Microloan Program Manager over there. So the mission of the SBC is, or Small Business Center, is to provide entrepreneurs from ethnically and economically diverse groups with the education, tools, and resources needed to create, sustain, and grow viable businesses and entrepreneurial ventures. Center's provided over 12,000 services to over 3,000 people exploring the possibility of starting a small business, and to date has helped start over 300. So you have an MBA, you've been with the center since the end of 2011, and prior to your role there, you were a loan service manager doing similar microloan stuff at Axion out of Lawrence and then Boston. And so there you served a loan portfolio of 1,400 active borrowers, and it's pretty impressive. But,
Thank you.
so according to the U.S. Small Business Office, half of the jobs that we have in the United States, and a good number of the ones that are helping with economic recovery, are in the small business sector, which I believe the United States government defines as under 15 employees, somewhere in that range. So first off, how are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me on, Corey.
Thanks for being here. So first off, what is the Merrimack Valley Small Business Center? I understand it's under the umbrella of community teamwork.
Yep, the Merrimack Valley Small Business Center is a program of community teamwork, and we also partner with Middlesex Community College, University of Massachusetts Lowell, and the City of Lowell Department of Planning and Development. We've been around since 1998. We provide a variety of services for people who want to start businesses or for people who are already in business and need some help. We have a technical assistance program and also a financial assistance program. So technical assistance includes workshops, trainings, one-on-one counseling, peer mentoring groups, business plan assistance, access to a resource library, and then the financial assistance is our loan program. So we're able to make loans up to $25,000 to people in the Merrimack Valley who want to start or grow their business.
Okay, so that's the micro loans are up to 25,000.
Yep.
Oh, I thought there were a lot more micro than that.
Yeah, this
That's
is
great.
actually something new.
Okay.
We've recently been designated as an SBA microloan intermediary, which means that we can now make these larger loan amounts. Before this, we were lending only up to $5,000.
Okay.
So this is a really great opportunity now that we're a microloan intermediary, so that we can make these larger loan sizes.
So, so where do some nuts and bolts questions? Where's where you're getting the funds from, and what kind of terms do people get these, or how'd they go about deciding who's qualified?
Sure. Well, the funding for the loan fund comes from now the SBA. Is one of our major funders now.
Okay, so they fund them. Okay.
But originally, the loan fund was capitalized through some really great work that our director, Stacey Hargis, did, where she went out into the community and really got the support of a lot of community banks and credit unions to help capitalize the loan fund. So we have 9 community banks and credit unions that have donated funds to our loan fund.
Oh, really?
And then also the Parker Foundation is another one of the funders.
Great.
So that was kind of the initial capitalization of the loan fund. And that was leverage for us to then be able to apply with the U.S. Small Business Administration to become an SBA microloan intermediary to make these larger loan amounts. So we're really excited about that, because before, folks coming for funding, $5,000 can only do so much.
Yeah.
There are some businesses where $5,000 is an amount that can do a lot of good, but then
probably shelving for a store or signs or
small kind of smaller investments. But now that we can do larger amounts, we're hoping to be able to serve more local entrepreneurs. But in terms of, I think you asked also about kind of eligibility for the loan fund.
In terms of the loans and.
Sure. So our service area is the Merrimack Valley. So it goes west as Westford and then all the way up to Salisbury.
You're all the way to Salisbury now. Wow.
Most of our borrowers currently are, I think, pretty much all in Lowell. and some other surrounding communities. But our service area is large, so that's kind of something that we really want to get the word out there that we are a resource for people in the Merrimack Valley.
Yeah, it sounds like just surfing through the page that you personally involved with some work in Lawrence as well. That,
Definitely. We, through a partnership with the Greater Lawrence Community Action Council, when I first started, I had office hours at that office to be able to serve Lawrence entrepreneurs. We've also worked with the City of Lawrence to put on a workshop about taxes in the City of Lawrence. And now our Assistant Director, Terry Williams, is working with the city to do a special program for folks who want to apply for the city's small business revolving loan fund. So we are very active in the City of Lawrence as well.
Great. So let's say that I have some idea. I don't know. Maybe I want to do a food truck or pet store or something, and so I need to I hit up my family and friends, and the typical way to go about, and then maybe go to a bank, and if I don't have enough assets I can put against it, I might be stopped. So then I would come to you at that point, and we'd go through an application process through there.
Exactly. So we are kind of an alternative for folks who aren't able to use traditional sources of credit like bank loans. And while a lot of local banks actually are lending to small businesses,
and they're backing you too a bit, it sounds.
Right. Well, I mean, they were very instrumental in helping us capitalize the loan fund. For sure. And banks are making smaller business loans now. I've definitely seen banks that are making loans under $100,000. But when we're talking as small as under $25,000, it gets to be an amount that isn't necessarily an amount that a bank will service. So we are an alternative for folks in that sense when they need smaller amounts.
So is there a collateral backing does they need to put up collateral against this, or?
We do. Most of the loans that we do, we do require some sort of collateral. Generally what that means is we'll just put a general lien on business assets.
Okay.
So, but we feel that through working with the client, with one-on-one counseling and developing a relationship with the client, I mean, the best guarantee that the loan will be repaid is just the relationship that we have with the client.
Sure. I guess that's in terms of would it be the types of terms that you would expect out of a bigger bank? Like I'm not familiar with what terms would look like for a business loan whatsoever. I mean, I know mortgage rates are excellent right now. Is it a good time to be looking? Are you? Our
terms I would say are competitive. We can currently do loans up to 5 years. So 60-month terms. Our interest rate is 2 points above prime. So right now that means our interest rate is 5.25%.
Okay.
So it's a great, I think it's a great rate when you compare, what other institutions are lending at.
So how many loans? So you've been with the program since 2000. Did you directly come into this position?
In 2011, I started as a business advisor.
Okay.
So I was doing a lot of one-on-one counseling with folks, helping teach workshops, and I continue to teach classes. And then it was, I think, September of 2012 that I came on board, or changed positions to Microloan Program Manager.
And was it new at that? Had it been? The microloan program is slightly older than that, right?
Yeah. So the loan program is actually already there when I started. I think at the time we had 2 loans out.
Okay.
And Stacy and Terry were helping administer that program, and but since then we have been able to grow our portfolio. Now we have 9 loans on the books.
Great. Yeah, I was gonna ask how it's going.
Yeah, we have 5 of those loans are small business loans, and then I should also mention we do have a credit builder loan product. So 4 of our loans are credit builder loans, and that's a small dollar amount loan, $500. That's specifically intended to help folks build
establish
their credit.
Yeah, I mean it amazes me that when you're working in a traditionally underserved community like Lowell, they don't get those opportunities when they're younger to be able to, apply for a credit card, build up that line, and that must be extremely difficult if you want to, to really be able to go out and, do something you've been passionate about.
Yep.
And be your own boss, or help family members out,
Right.
give them opportunities that they otherwise might not get.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned you do some classes as well. Do you want to talk a bit more about that?
Sure. So part of our technical assistance program includes trainings and workshops. We have a number of different trainings and workshops, but maybe I'll just highlight 4 of our major programs. We have an 11-week program for people who want to start a business. That's called Entrepreneurial Boot Camp. And Terry Williams, our assistant director, teaches that, meets twice a week. Very intense. It helps you explore your business concept, do market studies, do studies of the competition, do financial projections. It's for folks that want to start up. So that's a great program that we have. Our second major training is called Financial Tune-Up Boot Camp. That's a 6-week program that I teach, and that's surrounding business financial management, so helping students learn about bookkeeping methods, cash flow management, using financial statements. So that's a great program as well.
And you just got a full-time bookkeeper coming out.
And we just got a full-time, and I'm glad you reminded me about that. So in addition to some of the services that I mentioned earlier, we now have this new program that we're developing to be able to offer bookkeeping services to our clients, because we've seen that that's definitely a major need for a lot of small business owners is support with tracking their business income and expense. So that's another great program. And then, so lastly, the 2 other programs that I want to mention, we have a 3-class business plan workshop to help people develop a business plan, and then a loan prep course, which just do 2 classes, and that's intended to help people who are applying for financing, whether it be with a bank or whether it be with our microloan program.
So do you have any particular success stories with either the loans or the classes that you'd like to share?
Definitely. A lot of success stories. I'm thinking of a couple of clients who actually went through the first time that I taught Financial Tune-Up Boot Camp, that 6-week financial management course that I was telling you about. I have one client who was operating her business informally out of her home, making cupcakes, making fudge, and those kind of things, kind of baked goods. She came to us wanting to formalize her business, so making sure that she was doing what she needed to do with regards to paying taxes, with regards to cooking out of a certified kitchen. So actually, she's a success story for me because she's enrolled in Entrepreneurial Boot Camp, that program, Financial Tune-Up Boot Camp. She's utilized lots of hours of one-on-one counseling, and since working with us, now she has formalized her business. She's registered it with the city. She's gotten the permits that she needs. She's operating out of a certified kitchen, which actually happens to be a kitchen that we're able to rent out. It's through Community Teamwork's Children's Corner. We have a kitchen that we're able to rent out to entrepreneurs who have food businesses.
Yeah,
So
I have a couple friends with food businesses, and I mean, on top of it all, you talk about the complexities of taxes and bookkeeping and things like that. But once you're dealing with the city sanitary regulations and all that type of stuff, I mean, that's got to be daunting for anybody. So.
Right. Yeah, which is why it's great, with our partnership with the City of Lowell, for example, if we have questions about what a client needs to do regarding licenses and permitting, we can just call them up and find out what the process is. So that's really great that we have that resource. So this particular woman that I'm thinking of is just a success story in the sense that she had an informal business, a business that she was operating informally, and then she was able to formalize, and that'll allow her to grow, because now that she's doing things, the right way, she's able to really go out there and say, this is who I am, this is my business, this is what I do, and she doesn't have to be afraid that that she's not doing what she needs to do. So that's one case that I wanted to mention, and then another client, the other student in that first round of Financial Tune-Up Boot Camp, operates a salon in downtown Lowell, and she's an immigrant to this country, and she's actually been in business for 15 years, so she had already been doing things for a long time, but needed some help with her personal financial situation, and some financial issues that
Yeah.
we were able to help her out with, after having her go through our financial student boot camp program and then through a lot of hours of one-on-one counseling and working with her. And then we were actually able to give her her first small business loan, which she was able to use to kind of take care of some financial issues that she had that were kind of preventing her from moving forward and growing her business. So kind of giving her a fresh start. So I think that's another example of a success story. And also the woman that I mentioned previously, who is now using our kitchen space, she also received a loan. She received a credit builder loan.
Great.
Because she had some credit problems in the past, and so now she's taking steps to improve her financial situation.
So, what kind of challenges does the Small Business Center face? I mean, you're a sizable. I don't know the statistics off the top of my head, but small businesses are extremely prone to failure, and so you have that to deal with, and then you also have the fact that you need to just get the word out about who you are and what you do, and why it's a great program for the communities that it serves. And I was interested to see that it used to be the Lowell Small Business Assistance Center. Now, like you said, you've been doing a broader area all along, but you're broadening your terms. But how are you in terms of reach out, or is there particular issues that you're looking at to make sure that people can succeed that might not otherwise be looking at through like a more traditional lending source? Or
Well, I mean, I would say, just thinking about challenges for the center, capacity is a huge challenge. I mean, right now we are 4 full-time staff members, and we do have our service area, like I said, goes from Westford all the way to Salisbury. So
2 counties,
it's a huge service area. And so, of course, it's a challenge to be able to do everything that we want to do and reach all the people that we want to reach. But I think we're figuring out ways that we can do that. And then another challenge I would say is, the success stories, for example, that I mentioned. The reason they are success stories is because we've had a lot of hours of contact with those clients and an ongoing relationship. Helping a business start or grow isn't a one-time transaction.
So it's a scalability issue from your own size in terms of, you in a lot of ways are a small business yourself.
Exactly. So, definitely. And I've learned a lot about small business through working basically for a small business, even though we're a nonprofit program of community teamwork, which is certainly not a small business. But I've just learned a lot from the job itself.
So we're running low on time. So if our watchers would like to get in contact with you, how would they go about doing it? We're going to have the website down below us on the board, but
Great. So if folks are interested in applying for a loan or learning more about our loan program, they can contact me directly. My phone number is 978-322-8403, or they can email me at kwallace@comteam.org. If folks are interested in starting a business, I encourage them to attend our orientation workshop, Are You Ready to Start a Business? And they can learn more about that on our website.
Great. So once again, it's Kristin Wallace, Merrimack Valley Small Business Center, the Microloan Program. Thanks for being on the air with us today.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.